Welcome everyone to your daily special. My apologies of the lack of consistency. There's just been a lot of loud noise around here with construction going on, with the new garage going up. We had to get it done. The other one was just falling apart. And I have not been able to beat the construction workers continuously, which, oh my God, I think I hear them now. So I'm going to try my best. This is even like super early in the morning, even though it's probably going to be loaded up God knows when, because it takes some time. So my apologies. So here we go. Let's see what's in store today. See what card pops out. First, we are starting off with the Cross Street Oracle cards. I hear them outside the window. Okay, we have exactly 3 facing up. And it figures I forgot my glasses downstairs. So, bear with me. First one of air, okay? One of air is all about new beginnings. It's all about challenges. Could be possible pregnancy. If it is a possible pregnancy and you're wondering if you should have the child or not, I am not one to tell you what to do, but I know I have what I call saved 3 spirits that needed to come through. So you might want to think twice on that. I do vote the way I vote. So you do what you want. It's your body. It's up to you. So it's lessons and challenges towards the future. This is what you should be telling yourself. Okay, lift your mind right now. So create, write, paint, any kind of holistic thing, work in the garden, write music, write poetry, whatever you can do to get the anxiety out. Those are what's considered the ancient arts. Or cook, do whatever, those are ancient arts. Those are taken out of schools recently. If you're dealing with a child with light eyes and they have high anxiety, you need to, this is something that's coming through right now. Teach them the ancient ways. Unfortunately, schools are teaching nothing but data all the time. So to me, that's like, if I didn't have art class in school, I don't think I would have survived the last 2 years of high school when computers started getting real big. So, and also too, the ancient arts, no matter how much data you know, you really need to know both sides of the coin for skills. So this is definitely a trying time. As always, this too shall pass. Continue to move forward fearlessly and fearlessly with courage and strength. It's just ironic I wrote those words down this morning. And Raphael rules East. Raphael rules all about the heart, any emotional and physical pain, anything that needs healing. He also rules, or she, however, which way you look at Raphael, rules Mercury. Mercury's all about communication, which makes a lot of sense, like especially if you're pregnant, communications could be kind of, freaking out right now, especially if you're young, talking to parents, or if you're older. I mean, no matter what the situation is, it's going to feel a little awkward. So communication skills, call upon Raphael for that. Great color to work with would be green. When you're dealing with the high anxiety, chamomile tea with mint tea, I have found works very well. When it comes to water, when dealing with this card, I would say a cleansing bath is great. If you're not into that thing, just soak and take a hot tub bath. Same thing. Let's see here. When working with earth, I already had mentioned the mint and air. You can also burn sage during this time. That works very well with this. And green candles. And again, that is the first one of air. And you guys got 3 cards today. And we have the 2 of earth. And it came up inverted, actually. So the 2 of earth, that is the 2 of pentacles. That is the tarot card where it's the figure 8, where they're balancing, the juggling. So the 8 is actually infinity, which is like what is above the magician card. It's all about manifesting. So when you got the 2 coins in there, and it's on an angle, that means you can manifest money as fast as you spend it. And this is the time of the holidays. Everybody tends to overspend. So it's a reminder of, saving for that rainy day. Also, too, Uriel rules north. If you need to, for angel guidance, Uriel is a great one for that, and the planet would be Mars. And these are questions you should be asking yourself, especially if you have someone around you with dark hair, dark eyes. Is there a stalemate? Is there a false identity? Also, too, are you the stalemate and are you the false identity? Are you blind to the truth in front of you? Sometimes some people get really blind to the truth. It's like, anybody in the service business would understand this, because I've noticed a lot of what they call desk jockey jobs. Those type of people are surrounded by fake people all the time, even in their real life, that they can't even spot someone being Southern Belle, politely rude to someone right in front of them. I'm sure some of you guys are understanding what I'm saying with this, because some of us waitresses have clowned big time in the bus station over the years about this. And so watch out for the truth, that's right smack dead in front of you. I mean, nobody wants to believe a best friend of over 20 years is the one that's been backstabbing you the whole time. Sometimes shit like that happens. Nobody wants to believe someone you haven't seen in a long time that you thought was a really good friend come back around only to backstab you again. There's so many ways of looking at what the truth is right in front of you. Look at the truth that's right in front of you with children. What are they dabbling into? What are they getting into? Something of a channel of a child coming through, especially if they're abusing anything, alcohol, drugs, anything, sex, anything of that nature. Especially abusing sex, hence the previous card of pregnancy. You see the interweaving going on here. So it really depends on how it applies to your life, okay? Because these are questions that, are trained for you individually, and I'm giving examples of how it can apply. Also, too, are you facing the storm? Okay? Hence, are you telling the news from the previous card? Are you doing what you need to do? Are you letting go of what needs to be let go? So that way you can move forward fearlessly and fearlessly. Are you seeking the truth to remain living in the truth? This is a hard one. I mean, not hard to explain. It's like a hard one to accept, because sometimes you can end up in a relationship where you really admire the person and you really adore the person, but you really don't care for who they're surrounded by, because there's no respect or loyalty, and no one should have to compromise themselves to get respect and loyalty. So it can make some relationships very difficult. And so really it depends on how one pieces it together to live in their own truth. There's some people that can just be like, you know what, I don't have to be friends with your friends in order for us to have a relationship. As long as we have something special here and we're moving forward together and refining ourselves together moving forward, there's nothing wrong with that. Doesn't mean that both worlds have to blend together, but within time they will eventually blend together if they choose to walk a path together. So there's other ways that can go through also. Here on the bottom of the card it says, almost out of the shadows, keep striving forward and keep your efforts up. So I'm not sure if you can see the artwork on there. It's a little person walking up a road, and the sun has a money sign in the middle of it. So don't give up on your efforts. Keep moving forward, and everything's in your benefit. It's going to be okay. Just manifest bigger dreams. Think bigger. Don't think so small. I'm learning that right now, because the 8 of Earth is here, and it's all about making a wish. So as an overall, altogether, we got 10, 11. Okay. 11 ones. Mind your thoughts. So when you're minding your thoughts with your wish, okay, because it's the number 8 and it was in the number 2, the affinity, okay. So mind your thoughts when you're manifesting your money, make sure that you're doing it for yourself, because if you're manifesting money for a stalemate that has a false identity that you're blind to the truth to, or you can clear your mind, think of yourself for once, lift your mind, create during this time, and trust that it will, no matter the news, it shall pass, and everything is going to get better. Being born literally into this world, are we not kicking and screaming? It's painful. But to other people, they get excited. They're like, oh, I got a baby. And they're all crying with excitement. We're all like, what the hell is going on here? It's like there's so many analogies in life to look at it that way. So, in a nutshell, be careful with your wishes because they can come true. Be very detailed because when you're not detailed, you can get your wishes of the life of your dreams. But if you forget to say happy or be happy with that person, because there's this whole thing of law of attraction, and then there's this whole path of following where spirit and the divine is taking you. So it's really up to you, what you desire. So I always say that. I grew up my whole life working the service business, so it's always, you have a choice. So it's up to you. I'm only here to let you know what choices are out there. And let's get on to the Flowermancy cards. I'm very excited. Thank you so much for everybody that's buying these cards. I made these cards on a regular deck of cards with my own handwriting, and I used them for well over 15 years, and just not even a year ago, I had the balls of printing them, and I wanted to print them on my own. It's just, I got burned on a lot of royalties in the past, so I do everything all on my own. And to be able to keep up with the demand of how these are selling is shocking, exciting, and yeah, it just makes me very happy. To most people, they're like, they have this was my goal. This was one of my major goals in life, because I have been a reader since I was a small child, starting reading divination tea leaves, and started reading cards at 15, and I'm 43 now, and I told myself I always wanted to come up with a deck, because I remember learning psychology in psychology class when I was 16. I learned about reverse psychology, and how instead of giving someone advice because it lacks life experience, or it is life experience, which is personal opinion, is not allowing that person to live in their truth. So when you ask them questions, you force them to figure out what is right for them while they're figuring it out on their own. And it sticks with them. And that's the whole point of these cards. And just excited. And I applied my own thing to it, my angels and elements and direction. And after using it for 15 years, I felt more confident on what to call them and how to come up with the suits. So that's why they are the way they are. And the flower cards, like I have said before, my whole life, what few flowers I do see in the inner city, I stop to take a moment and look at them. And I usually take a picture of them because there's some type of inner voice that's saying something to me. And I jot it down, and I made up a deck of cards and gave a deck to my mother. And she just said they're amazing, they're beautiful, and every time I pick a card, she's like, it's dead on. And my mother is hardcore Catholic. And for that woman to say that means a lot. And so these are recently out, and they're called my Flowermancy Oracle cards. And let's see what they have to say today. Let's see what pops up. Something's telling me to pull this one. I'm going to pull 3 because they're very direct answers. It's like when I was asked, okay, the inner voice in me, I guess I would say, because I used to take the bus a lot until I survived 3 attacks. I managed to get away. I no longer take public transportation. It's just, what's the point anymore at this age? It is what it is. So, and I'll have my own car soon. My last one was stolen, unfortunately. And, but anyways, before the streets got worse than they were just poor. Now they're, I don't know what the hell they are. You used to be able to walk around and different flowers. I always, whatever I was feeling at that moment, something very clear came to me. Whether it was a direct sentence or one word, it made a lot of sense of what I was going through. So for my mother, they work. So I am hoping, which I'm pretty sure it will work for everyone, because so far I've had great results with the cross streets. So let's start off with the first Flowermancy. First one says, it's okay to let go of past beliefs. Example, like when we were talking about the cross street cards, old school ways, people shunned you if you had a child out of wedlock. That would be an example. Protection is near from a wise loved one. So whoever, like we were saying before, some news, whoever you need to break the news, turn to a wise loved one first, and they'll help you break the news to everybody else. Watch out for those who play two-faced to get your creativity ideas only to claim them as their own. That's pretty much simple and direct to the point. Basically, watch out for jumping on the bandwagon. I've done this more than once, and it happens, and it sucks. You get excited, and because people are into what you're into, and especially when you meet people that have been into it 25 plus years. I myself am coming up on 32 years of acknowledging it. And just be careful, because there's a lot of, in the holidays, and everybody, especially when wintertime comes and you're invested in things, you're not able to get outside as much, so you might be sitting on more anxiety. Just be careful, because as an example, I'll use myself. There's many, many coffee shops and many, many metaphysics shops I have been a reader at for many years, especially working on the same side of town for over 25 years, which is local talk before internet stuff. And if there's anything I've learned, is people will step over you after they've used you enough to get the money that they needed for themselves. So be careful with that. So make sure whoever you invest your time with, they have your back as much as you do to them. And if not, just take a graceful bow. Don't, act like a fucking kid and stomp your feet or whatever. It is what it is, and just move on. So it is what it is. So peace.